You heard about the cadiaN 1v4 with the P250?
I haven't heard of that. How does it go, Chad?
Well, it was a pretty important round. It was for the title.
He actually won it with just that P250. I can't believe it.
Nobody was looking, and he managed to sneak his way all the way through the backlines here and shoot Shiro in the back of the head.
Right. And what did he do after that? That's nuts. So he actually shoots the AWP in the back of the head without anyone looking.
Gets the AWP and kills the guy CT.
Oh my god, he's knifed him, and he's gotten away with the AWP. I'm starting to get nervous. There's no way, cadiaN, you can't win Pro League like this! You can't win Pro League like this! No way! Axile's left, 40 seconds and the bomb's on A. Take your time, son, you're about to make the play of your career. Gets the info, he just has to hit this shot, and he's done it for Heroic. The leader, calling well above his years, clearing corners. Oh no! You're an animal! Heroic have done it, and I just can't believe it! cadiaN, Casper, Møller, he does it with nothing.
In March 2020, before the online era of CSGO started, cadiaN was a rising force in the scene. His team, Heroic, pushed into the top 20 of HLTV's global rankings. And a big part of that success was the Danish Opera himself.
cadiaN! Баруб делает 2 минуса на заходе времени. Точка нет. Просто это поражение. 16-12.
But Heroic was never able to get much further than that, struggling to go deep at big lands. They weren't doing poorly, but they needed to do better. cadiaN's own career wasn't all that exciting either. He was a beloved player on middling teams who never really made much of a name for himself. So he needed a big win. And the inaugural season of Flashpoint, set to take place in Los Angeles, seemed like the perfect place to move up in the rankings.
We went to the US with the knowledge of having a Flashpoint spot for season 1. And being signed by FPX, I mean, it was all announced, us standing there in the jerseys, having a real good time, huh?
For cadiaN, who spent years proving himself and getting to this point, it seemed like things were finally moving in the right direction. But then, everything collapsed.
We as FPX, Heroic, call us whatever name you want, will not be finishing the first group stage of Flashpoint. Probably just won't be playing the tournament at all, let's be real.
His teammate, Esatag, announced he was headed to Astralis, and then FPX decided to drop everyone.
FunPlusPhoenix has actually forfeited their match to Orglis. Esatag is going to Astralis now. Yeah, everything's not going great for FunPlusPhoenix.
Because of FPX's decision, cadiaN and his teammates had to forfeit the Flashpoint group stage while they were stuck in a foreign country in the middle of a global pandemic.
I still remember just setting up to play the second game of Flashpoint, sitting there warming up with our gear, and then we get a call from our owner of the organization, Eric, and he said like, yeah, stop playing, like there's no need, you guys are not gonna play.
As the world realized the severity of the global pandemic, esports had to change. Tournaments went online, a disappointing switch for CS fans. And many top CSGO teams found it difficult to switch to online play. Multiple players temporarily stepped away from Astralis' roster, Na'Vi faltered despite strong LAN results from just before the pandemic, and mousesports looked like a shadow of their former selves. But cadiaN and his teammates saw a new opportunity. They rejoined Heroic and took the online era seriously, even hiring Dunn as their coach in April. Dunn had been a longtime IGL in Danish Counter-Strike, and had played alongside Glaive before he became a legend in his own right as part of Astralis. He brought a wealth of knowledge about the game itself, and the opponents that cadiaN would need to beat to reach the top.
I think when I came to Heroic in the beginning of like May last year, I think I saw a different cadiaN, the cadiaN who just wanted to play a free playstyle with no structure. Let's just run around, and then I do a lot of mid-round callings. He likes to talk a lot, so that fits him perfectly.
Dunn and cadiaN figured that if the other top teams were taking it easy, then Heroic could close the gap by grinding and training until they could become the best team in the world. And after qualifying for ESL 1 Cologne 2020, it was time to show the world just how dangerous they could be in the online era.
Now he can be very quick behind them. They're going up A, and cadiaN, if that smoke arrives, I think they're going to disrespect it. He's got a good chance at another here. cadiaN's on for 4, maybe even the ace. Go on, cadiaN! He takes over the game. That's another head off of Amanek. Maybe Testas can do it. He does it. Big time players making big time plays in big time games. Tessus keeps Heroic in it. If he could just make disruptive play. 1, 2, the head of Apex gone. My eyes starting to roll and Shox is in trouble. That's enough. He's won the round on his own. Nico on for the ace. He dismantles Vitality. And cadiaN bigging him up. And Bora, quad kill for grand final point for the trophy. This is the first Cologne for Borup, cadiaN, Tessus, and they're the last team standing. Unbelievable.
Watching Heroic and cadiaN win Cologne was pretty surreal, but the dream didn't last long before it was shattered.
I've got this game loaded up. It's Heroic versus Astralis. It's the match where Hunden, for the first 10 rounds, had a camera and free cam on Banana.
Days after their huge win, Hunden was implicated in a scandal. He was one of several coaches who abused a bug that allowed him to move around the map rather than be locked to a player's POV. He was suspended by Heroic and banned for a year.
I think everyone got surprised about what actually happened. I think most of them got disappointed as well. And in the end of the day, we tried to find the best solution. I was not the one who asked to stay in Heroic. The organization, the team knew what I could do with this team. So in the end of the day, I did a big mistake, but they gave me a second chance.
But the timing also meant that there were a lot of questions about Heroic's recent success. Glaive wanted to know just how was it that Heroic's players didn't realize that their coach was cheating. And so just as cadiaN earned the biggest win of his career, it seemed as if the cheating scandal ripped it all away. After the scandal, Heroic played a ton of matches trying to prove that they were still a good team.
So basically, we have 96 maps played in the past 3 months.
Yeah.
We participated in literally everything that we possibly could.
And all of their hard work paid off as Heroic earned the #1 spot on HLTV's global rankings, finally putting cadiaN ahead of Astralis, who tailed him at #2. And then, at DreamHack Open Fall 2020, Heroic proved that their previous success wasn't a fluke.
5 versus 3 for Heroic to close this tournament, to win yet another online event, to cement themselves at the top of Counter-Strike. Shox trying his damnedest. Apex with only 14 HP, 1v3, and get ready for a cadiaN pop-off, because he's done it. He closes and leads his team to yet another win.
Unfortunately, Heroic didn't hold on to that #1 spot for very long. They slid as far as 14th after a disappointing early exit from IEM.
He's looking around the side, sees his man, but no! Shiro takes the fight, takes the win, 16-3, Heroic fall!
But Heroic were not about to give up. Under cadiaN's leadership, the team reinvented itself once again. Nico and Borup were benched, and Refresh and Shush were brought in as replacements, and they immediately meshed with cadiaN's system.
Shush has to pick up the pieces. With the bomb not planted for him either, they don't know about Refresh, and he pounces out with a double and a third. Refresh denies the defuse.
Tessus is still here fighting to the very end, and cadiaN even rotates in with his Tech 9, trying to deny them this ramp control. Get out, says cadiaN. It's only Yuri, he's been fragging up a storm, but they're holding the line, and it's all Refreshes. What an announcement.
And during the grand finals of ESL Pro League Season 13, cadiaN did something that no one expected.
Gets the AWP and kills the guy CT.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's knifed him, and he's gotten away with the AWP. I'm starting to get nervous. There's no way, cadiaN, you can't win Pro League like this! You can't win Pro League like this! No way! Exile's left, 40 seconds and the bomb's on A. Take your time, son, you're about to make the play of your career. Gets the info, he just has to hit this shot, and he's done it for Heroic. The leader, calling well above his years, clearing corners. Oh no! You're an animal! Heroic have done it, and I just can't believe it!
cadiaN's 1v4 clutch sealed the win for Heroic and earned the team $150,000. But even more importantly, it was a crowning moment in cadiaN's career-long struggle for recognition.
I think it took me maybe 5-10 seconds to realize, but the rush from celebrating and being hyped by my teammates, I nearly passed out. You can see in the video that I'm just falling backwards and they're like catching me.
cadiaN worked his ass off, fighting through losses, heartbreak, and scandal because he knew he had what it took to be one of the best. He just needed that one win, that one play that would immortalize him forever. He took a group of overlooked Danish players to the highest level and gave them a chance to make history.
Back in the days, 2019, both Heroic, Mad Lions, Optic, what team all of these players played on, we were lucky to meet a top 10 team one time each month. Now we're used to it. We have the experience now, we have the structure, we are ready to compete with the best now, I'm 100% sure.
And no matter what happens when Counter-Strike's Cathedrals again play host to the faithful, the name cadiaN is now justifiably revered.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.